Hey guys, Dave here with AAA Coach, retired Master Sergeant in the United States Army Special Forces. I'm a certified NRA instructor. I'm a verified instructor for the state of Colorado. I'm a certified instructor for Tactical Hive to teach their Cheat Codes of Shooting 1 course. Today we're going to talk about SOF Industries, the site, how to install it, my initial thoughts, and why I'm actually doing this video. Stay tuned. Okay, first things first, we're going to talk about their company, then we'll get into the site and all that other stuff. So I'm on their website now, and it's pretty easy, SOF Industries. Now, I want to make sure this is clear. SOF has nothing to do with Special Operations Forces in this regard. SOF Industries is the company that develops the site, okay? Let's go ahead and look at their profile here online. What they claim is that this site is better than a red dot site. They developed this site because it looks like one of the guy's grandmothers called and said that she had purchased a firearm and she couldn't rack it back. So they wanted to develop the site so that she could actually rack the slide back. Now, for anybody who's watching this that uses a red dot, you can also do that with a red dot. It looks like they only have one product right now, and it's for the Glock. Don't let the pictures deceive you. This is actually a really small site. If their claim is true, this might actually be really good to look into to put on your Glock. So let's look at the site itself online. Okay, so they're saying it's trademark diamond of death to enhance target acquisition and reduce time on target. So they're saying basically this is their product. The rear sight is their product. You can use this with other sights, other front sights. So that's why they probably sent this Dawson precision front sight. It looks like there's a couple of, I think they're going to be iridescent lands probably. One on the top, two on either side, and then there's a couple of dots on the bottom. So V-notch and dot design. Initially, like looking at this, it looks very busy. But again, this is just on the screen. I haven't even opened these up yet. So that's enough about the company. Let's open up the package and see what's going on here. So before we do that, I want to get into why am I doing this? Reached out to me and said, hey, would you test one of our sites? And of course, I said, well, yeah, sure. I'd like to test one of their sites. They sent me 1,000 rounds of ammunition, cellar and ballot. So we'll be testing that as well. And I said, yeah, sure. I'll test your site. So here's the way it's going to go. We're going to install this sight, both the rear sight and the front sight on this Glock. We're going to talk about initial thoughts. We're going to take it to the range and we're going to shoot it, just kind of getting used to it, draws, drills, so on and so forth. And the whole time we're doing this, we're going to think about how it compares to a red dot. Red dots are awesome. They do have their little nuances, of course, but maybe you don't want a red dot for your concealed carry, Or maybe this is better than a red dot when it comes to competition. So that brings me to my next point. I'm going to go to an IDPA or USPSA or something of that nature. I'm going to use this sight. I don't know what that's going to make this, as in what category you're going to be. So a standard stock pistol, for example, is just like this is right now. Now, if I change the sight out, even though it's not a red dot, I don't know if they're going to put me in the category of carry optics. If they put me in the carry optics category because of the sight, then I'll be limited to 10 rounds. If they don't, then I can still use 15 rounds per magazine. But we'll see. Whatever, we'll see. I'll ask the range officer when that day comes. So I'm going to do a competition, and then I'll finish out with what my initial thoughts are, pros and cons, and if it would be potentially beneficial to you. So let's get started. Comes in a package. You're going to need a knife or scissors. It's not easy to open. They're going to send you a sticker, of course, like every other company. A business card with QR code, we'll scan that. The Allen wrench with looks like a set screw. Now, they have informed me, do not use this. I want to repeat, do not use this. They cut this so that just the friction itself, just the fit inside the Glock is good enough. So they don't want us to use this. So I am not going to use this in this demonstration. On the back of the package and on the front of the package, there's also a QR code. It's probably the same QR code. It says scan for install instructions. So we'll scan that and kind of check that out. Initially, the sight looks pretty clean, pretty awesome looking, actually. I mean, you can see how small it is. And it just sits, it's going to sit right there. The iridescent lines, I think they're iridescent. I'm not sure. But you can see those lines there where you're going to line up your front sight with. So take a few pictures of this to post up, so you guys can see what's going on here. So that's the rear sight. Let's check out the front sight. Now this one has, the package is easy to open. Not a big deal. When you pull this stuff out, you'll have instructions for the front sight. Now again, this isn't their sight. This is Dawson precision sights. In theory, you can use whatever sight you wanted to, but they sent me this Dawson precision sight, so we'll go from there. So it gives you some instructions here that we're going to use. It actually comes with a tool. This is going to be really handy for the front sight. It's going to be pretty tight in there, so having the tool is going to be really good. So if you're going to change out your front sight, whatever sight you choose, then make sure it comes with a tool, because it's going to be hard pressed to get that sight off if you don't have a special tool. It comes with the sight itself. The front sight itself obviously has the high visibility fiber optic. You can replace it with red. It already has red there, but you can replace it with red or green. It comes with the green as well. We're just going to keep the red. I'm not going to mess with that. And I'll take a couple pictures of this so you guys can see what it looks like by itself. Okay, so now we're going to get into installing. The first thing you got to do, obviously, is clear the firearm. Obviously, make sure there's no magazine in it before you pull the slide back. The reason why that is if you pull the slide back and you can't lock it back to the rear and you let the slide go forward, you're chambering around. So make sure you take the magazine out first. Okay, so drop the source feed. Then you're going to lock the action to the rear, and you're going to check the chamber, the magazine well, and the bolt face. So a 3-point safety check. I've seen before where individuals they'll clear the firearm and then they'll catch the cartridge in the air, and that kind of cowboy shit is I look down upon. Okay, so do the right thing by either locking or holding the action to the rear, and do your 3-point safety check. Okay, now that it's clear for Glock, you're gonna let the slide go forward, point in a safe direction, pull the trigger, and then bring the slide back just a little bit so you can pull these tabs down right here on either side. You need to do both of them simultaneously, not one or the other, and then allow it to go forward. Once you allow it to go forward, you should be able to push that slide right off, just like that. Okay, we don't need the lower part, so we're going to put that aside. We're going to take the spring out, of course, and the barrel off, because we need to access the bottom for the front sight. I'm going to put the rear sight on first, just so I can see what's going on in relation to the sight that comes on the Glock already, the stock sight. My initial impression is that you're probably not going to be able to use that front sight. I'm not sure, but there are several ways you could possibly do it with this rear sight, and I just want to see how it looks with the stock front sight before I put the other front sight on. So with that said, we're going to QR code this. We'll pull it up. So this is the install instructions that they send you. It looks like visit us online, Instagram, Facebook, and then YouTube. It says connect on social media. I don't see any install instructions. So yeah, so the QR code doesn't go to install instructions. It just goes to their socials and their website. So let's pull up the website, or excuse me, let's pull up the YouTube. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, guys, you got to fix that. If you have the QR code that says scan for install instructions, then that link should go to the install instructions. So yeah, that's one thing I would fix. All right. Thankfully, I kind of know how to install this anyway. So that is a mistake on their part. Let's scan this other one just to roll it out. Here we go. Yeah, it goes right to the same thing. So yeah, guys, if you have install instructions that you need to scan with a QR code, SOF Industries, Chris, you need to fix that, because I mean, obviously that's a little bit frustrating for anybody who doesn't know how to install a sight on the Glock. Okay, so we'll put those away. You're going to need a punch, or if you have a Glock tool to push this original sight off, that's good too. The reason why I got the toolbox here is because I'm going to use it to punch that sight off. I'm going to use it to punch the sight off. Now, if you have a roll of duct tape or something like that, you could do the same thing, but you obviously need to be able to hold the slide still while you put the punch on one end of the sight, and you're going to have to hammer it off. Okay, so you need a hammer, a punch, something so that there's a place for the sight to fall, and you need to be able to hold everything together. So there it is. It's off of there. There's the original and there's the slide. Now to install this other one, I'm going to get it started with my fingers right here as much as I can. Obviously, you want the rear part to the rear of the slide, okay? So I don't think I need to say that, but I did anyway. Now from there, if you care about not scratching the sight up, then you probably need to use something on the end of your punch so you don't mar it up or scratch it up. Maybe a piece of cloth or something of that nature. To get it started, I'll probably just use the hammer a little bit. To get it started there. There we go. Hold that. It's pretty tight. I'm actually surprised on how tight it is actually. So I think using that set screw is probably not beneficial. And that's what they told me, is don't use a set screw. So I'm not going to do that. I'm really hitting this, guys, and it is really, really tight. Okay, well, I just realized that I screwed up the sound on my last couple of videos, but basically, the rear sight was really hard to get on. Not hard. Let me put it to you this way. I had to smack it pretty damn good to get it on there, and then in the end, I had to use the punch so I can get down here in the bottom and smack it really hard, just so I can get the rear sight center on the slide. The front sight, I use this little tool to pull off the screw that goes through the original front sight, and it was super easy. And then that sight came off. The new front sight was easy to put on. I just had to unscrew the smaller screw, so use the smaller screw, not the longer screw. The smaller screw, and I put a little dab of blue Loctite on it and cinched it down. Now, it should go on really easy. If you're trying to twist it and it's not going on easily, then you're probably cross threading it, which would not be good. You'll ruin your sight and or your screw. So I decided to stick with the red fiber optic, and I mean, it looks pretty good from what I can see. So the next thing is to put it together, go to the range, and shoot it. That's pretty much it. Don't be shy about smacking this thing pretty hard. It didn't break. It didn't do anything like that. So don't be shy about it. And then if it does break, then contact them and they'll probably replace it anyway. That is the installation. We're going to put this gun back together. And that's what it looks like there. Now, they claim that you could use this rear sight so you can charge, which it's working just fine to charge it. So this might be really, really good for those who maybe can't grab the slide and pull back. You could use a table, your hand, anything of that nature, your boot, so on and so forth. So we're going to try that stuff out at the range when we get there. It actually isn't bad just by presentation here, putting it in the center. Now, it does kind of mess with my eyes. The back of this kind of mess with my eyes. So it might even be better not to have those at all. So if all you're looking for is your red dot, for example, if you had an electronic red dot, And all you're looking for is a dot. You're not looking for anything to line it up with. So this might be, it might be better without these lines in the back. So you can actually see that dot, and that's the only thing you see. Interesting. Well, we'll check it out at the range. We'll do a couple of things, but that's how it looks. We'll see you on the range.